Chuck, how are you?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
What's your philosophy when people want an autograph? Like when is it a good time and when is it a bad time to approach you?
You should sign autographs. Just when you're eating is not appropriate, but I think part of your responsibility, they don't pay you all that money just to play basketball. So I think you should always sign autographs. I always sign autographs unless I'm eating.
But you get swarmed though, don't you?
Yeah, I do. But listen, man, these people pay us millions and millions of dollars to play a stupid game, to take a couple minutes. And first of all, it has to be quick. Hey, I don't want to hear no stories. No, yo, man, give me the paper. Let me sign it. Yeah, I don't want to hear the stories. I don't care. So that's, to me, it's the only time it's a problem. I don't want to hear no stories. Just tell me, hey, give me the paper, and I sign it.
How often do you ask for an autograph or a picture?
I have. I collect memorabilia. I got a great hockey collection. I got a great basketball collection of different pictures but if I met somebody, I would be happy to take a picture. I mean, I'm a fanboy to some people.
Like when you meet Gretzky, you ask for.
I got a Gretzky stick. Got my favorite hockey player is Ron Hextall. My favorite football player is Brian Dawkins. They gave me a signed jersey. Somebody found out I was a big fan. They gave me a signed jersey in the last couple of years.
Anybody disappoint you?
Not really. I think, because obviously it has something to do with who I am. But hey, I got celebrity friends who won't sign autographs. I mean, I got a couple of friends who will say, hey, I hate to bother you. Then don't damn bother me. But I tell people this because people ask me about, hey, I walked up to this guy. I said, well, that probably didn't go well.
Yeah.
I think it's up to the individual if they want to sign autographs. And we're not on the same level. I mean, I know some guys who are bigger than me who don't sign stuff, but they probably get bugged more than me. But my personal opinion is I'm going to always sign autographs. I think it goes with the responsibility.
When you were on 60 Minutes, you mentioned the friendship, or what was a friendship, with Michael Jordan. Did you hear from Jordan?
No. It's so funny. I've never had more people ask me about they act like we Prince William and Prince Harry. Hey, Michael, I love Michael like a brother. He's doing great. I'm doing great. He got mad at me. It's no big deal. I think we're both, man, I'm sweating over here. But it's unfortunate. But man, I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he's doing great. But hey, it's unfortunate.
Well, I know you came on this show and you said he's not a good owner. Mike's not a good owner.
I didn't say he wasn't a good owner. I said he didn't have good enough people around him.
He was surrounded by yes men.
Yes.
Yes.
And I said that, and it was true. And he went ballistic. But, hey, man, Dan, one of the reasons I've been very good at my job, I'm not going to say, one of the reasons I hate reporters, to be honest with you, guys like Skip Bayless and people like that, you can tell the guys they like and dislike. That ain't right. You should be fair. I'm not going to, just because me and Michael were great friends, I don't give him a hall pass. The one thing, I've been straightforward and honest on anybody I've given my opinion with in my 23 years. I never played favorites. There's nobody can say, Charles, don't like this guy. I've been fair to everybody.
As far as the NBA home stretch here, how do you think this plays out?
Man, nobody got zero idea.
Is there a great team?
No, there's not a great team at all.
Okay.
There's some great players. But I tell you what, man, the West is going to be crazy. It's going to go down to the last day of the season. I mean, the East is set, and we know who's going to be. Like, it's going to come down to Boston, Milwaukee, and Philly. Those three teams, they're above everybody else. But in the West, I can't wait for the West. This weekend, I can't wait for the first-round matchups. I mean, it could be the Lakers could play the Sacramento Kings, or they could play the Denver Nuggets in the first round of the playoffs. I don't know who's going to win the West. If you hold my feet to the fire, I'm going to stick with the Denver Nuggets. They've been the most consistent team all year. But as they say, though, I'm going to write it in pencil. I'm not going to write it in pen.
Who's your MVP?
Man, I'm glad I don't have a vote. To be honest with you, I don't think there's a wrong answer. If I had a vote,
why don't you have a vote?
I don't know. Ernie's the only guy on our show who has a vote. It probably come down to Embiid and Giannis if I had a vote, because I think that I'm like I say, I would, and like I say, there's no right or wrong answer. If you vote for Joker, Giannis, or Joel, I don't think there's a wrong answer. But if I had a vote, it'd come down to Joel and Giannis. And I'd probably give it to Joel because he's never won before. You know, what really bothers me is these guys on television who act like, well, you know, they be saying, well, this guy should have won it X amount of time. It's never been about that. It's always been Michael Jordan was the best player probably 3 or 4 years before he won his first MVP. He was just not on a good team. Nobody thinks Steve Nash was better than Kobe or Shaq, but he had a better regular season. It's a regular season award. If I had to pick the best player in the NBA today, I'd probably go with Giannis. But like I say, it's never went to the best player. But these guys on television, like, well, this guy, they tired of giving it to the same guy. No, they give it to the guy who had the best regular season. It's not who wins the championship or who plays great in the playoffs. It's who played the best during the regular season.
Where's your MVP right now? Your award?
It's actually the only award that I got, to be honest with you. Because, you know, I'm selling all my memorabilia to build underprivileged houses in my hometown. I was supposed to do it before the pandemic because that stuff like that don't matter to me. But my daughter, I asked her what she wanted. She asked for she said, I'll take one of the gold medals. And the rest of this crap, I'm going to sell for underprivileged houses in my hometown. Dude, that stuff is just clutter to me, Dan. Everybody know I won MVP. Everybody know I won gold medals. Dude, let me tell you something. I'm 60 years old, Dan. If people come to the house and I say, hey, let's go look at my MVP trophy and look at my gold medal, I'm the biggest damn loser in the world. Think about that, Dan. If you and the nerdettes come to the house, like, yeah, come on, I want to take y'all over here and look at my MVP trophy and my gold medal. I'm gonna be the biggest loser in the world.
But I would want to see those things.
Yeah, I mean, they're worth seeing one time, but you can't no, I'm gonna get rid of those things because, hey, man, everybody know I won a couple of gold medals and MVP. You don't have to tell people.
But if you go to Tiger's house, does he have all of his majors, all of his trophies there?
I've been to his house, but I haven't been to his new house. And at that time, I think he only had like 2 or 3 majors back then.
Okay.
So, but I think that's different, Dan, because those trophies are humongous.
Yeah.
And but no, I haven't been seeing but you probably got to show those off.
So wait a minute, did he lose half of his memorabilia when he got divorced?
I don't know the answer to that question. No. Hey, I think you would prefer to have the cash instead of a U.S. Open trophy.
But have you gone into somebody's house and they have a shrine to themselves?
Great question. I don't think so. I think most guys, because the way it really works, Dan, you're really trying to get to your next accomplishment. You don't really, like when I was winning trophies, my mom and grandmother kept them all. I said, hey, take this thing. They're like, you don't want it? I said, no, I want the next one. Because you're always going and going. And let's be realistic. There's very few things. Like, if I was going to be honest with you, my MVP trophy and my 2 gold medals would probably be the only 2 things worth showing. I mean, all those other things, like player of the week, player of the month, You put those are paperweights, man. You don't keep up with those things.
How much is the MVP going to cost me?
That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know how it's so crazy how signing autographs and things.
But if I give you $25,000 for the MVP,
you ain't gonna get a finger. You're not even gonna get one of the legs. You're not even gonna get one of the legs on the MVP trophy for $25,000. Okay. Come on, Dan.
All right. What can I get for $25,000?
Like, a player of the month, a little plaque
stop.
or something like that. Come on, Dan.
You were never named Defensive Player of the Month, that's for sure.
I was not a good defender. I was a decent defender.
Okay, explain this to me. When we talk about like Luka and Kyrie, they can't play defense or they won't play defense? Because I don't understand. Like Sacramento Kings, they can score, but they're not good at defense. How are you not good at defense?
Because it's probably defense and rebounding are probably the two hardest aspects of basketball because they take a lot of work. They take a lot of work. Scoring is easy. All you got to do is shoot the ball a lot. But if you're going to play defense, you got to really get down and dirty. You got to and same thing with rebounding. You got to get in there and start beating up people because it's like, because the ball's the most valuable thing out there. So if you're going to be a great rebounder, you're going to have to take some beatings. And on defense, man, trying to stop a guy is hard. I mean, you think about the guys you're trying to stop. I mean, just take Luka and Kyrie, both great one-on-one basketball players. They ain't a job people apply for. Nobody says, hey, let me stop Kyrie or Luka. But, this thing was never, when it first happened, they asked us on the air, like, this is never going to work. It's a bad idea. They both need the ball. It was never going to work. Hey, it's going to be a very interesting offseason for that team.
Would you sign Kyrie if you're Dallas?
Oh, no, it's not going to. Well, what's the really good thing about it? For Dallas, they got two really good options. They can let him go and take $40 million off the books. And I think they're only going to be paying Luka, so they might can get a free agent. But the best option to me is to do a sign and trade because Dallas can give him the most money. And some team will take Kyrie and they'll give and to make the money match, they're going to have to give you a bunch of good players and draft picks. So
but who's going to want Kyrie?
Somebody, Dan. Somebody going to want Kyrie. Everybody think they can fix somebody. He's a great individual player. Some coach, some team going to think they can okay, we can make this work. I mean, this is like his third or fourth team. Somebody always going to think and it hasn't worked, but there's always a team that's going to say, hey, you know what? I think I can make this work. So even though I hated to trade for Dallas, I think in the long run, it could be a good thing, whether they take him off the books or do a sign and trade.
Talking to Charles Barkley, the Hall of Famer. When's the last time you went to the Masters?
I've never been to the Masters. I've never been there. Dan, when I go out to things like that, people think I'm there to talk to them. They don't realize I'm there to actually they don't realize I'm actually there to watch the sporting event. So it's better for me. I love the Masters.
Have you played Augusta?
I did. I played last year during the playoffs. It was one of the coolest experiences of my life. I shot an 89. I played well. I was so excited. I was so nervous. It was an honor and a privilege. But hey, listen, I'm rooting for the live guys this weekend because I think these PGA Tour dudes have been too rough on these live guys. I think the disrespect they've shown Phil Mickelson is ridiculous. They should be kissing his ass, to be honest with you, because Phil has made those guys more money in the last year and a half. They should be thanking him. But the way they've been crapping all over these live guys, it's been disappointing. Hey, Dan, they left for another economic opportunity. I'm not mad at them. 3 or 4 of those guys called me and asked me my opinion. I said, yo, man, let's don't get into this where our money comes from. Because if everybody want to sit around and worry about where our money come from, nobody going to be working. I mean, nobody's going to be working. So I told those guys, man, take that money. Screw those guys who are going to badmouth you. But I just think the PGA Tour has been overboard criticizing these guys, and I want the LIV guys to play well, and I won't want them to win it.
If I gave Phil Mickelson a mulligan to stay on the PGA Tour or go to LIV,
he should go to LIV.
You think that if I gave him a do-over, he would still go to the LIV Tour?
Dan, if somebody gave me $200 million, I'd go anywhere. I'm probably going to hell anyway, but for $200 million, if I had a chance to go to heaven or hell, give me $200 million, I'm going to hell. No, I know. I feel, those guys owe Phil a great deal of gratitude because you notice all of a sudden the PGA Tour came up with billions of dollars to pay these players now, just because of Phil. So instead of crapping on Phil like they've been doing, I think they should say, hey, you know what? Maybe we don't agree with you guys going to LIV, but we understand. I mean, we all leave for better economic opportunity. And I don't like this fake outrage about, they're taking money from Saudi Arabia. I mean, we're all taking money from somebody that we probably shouldn't be taking it from.
Are you a grandfather now?
I am, and it's the greatest thing ever. Little Henry, man, Dan, I'm telling you, man, it's the greatest thing ever being a grandpa.
I just became one about 6 weeks ago.
Congratulations, man.
Yep.
Dan, wait, when they start developing a little personality, now my man he just turned 1 like last week. Now he's starting to walk and like he notices my face. I FaceTime him and everything like that. Wait, it gets so much better, Dan. I can't wait. I think like I'm going home for a couple of days. So we off until the play-in tournament Tuesday. And I'm going to take him out on a golf cart for the first time this weekend, and I can't wait.
If you could pick the sport that you want him to play, what would it be?
Well, obviously that'd be basketball, but probably golf. I love golf. I love being outside. It's one of the first few places people, I like to play golf and fish because it's like only 2 places you can go and people don't want to bug the hell out of you. So golf would be my thing. But as long as he's a good person, I was thinking about the Wayans family the other day, and I saw one of the Wayans brothers did a tribute to his dad, and it was really profound. And he said, he asked his dad, what you want me to be? He said, a man. And he says, well, everybody grows up to be a man. And he says, that ain't even close to the truth. And I thought that was so profound. And it really made me take a step back like, yeah, man, you want your kids to grow up and you want to be proud of them. Like I'm really proud of my daughter because she's a nice person. She's a great mother. And, I'm just really, so you want to make your parents proud. And my daughter has done that. So as long as little Henry's a good person, I'm good.
Grandpa Barkley sounds like a show on TNT, a sitcom.
Well. First of all, just for record, I'm Big Pop. Big Pop. Yeah.
Not Big Poppy or Big Papa.
No, Big Pop. I stole that from some guy. I was giving Ernie an award last summer, and this cute little girl comes up to me and says, "Hey, Mr. Barkley, can I take a picture?" I said, "Of course." I said, "Who's gonna take the picture?" She says, "My Big Pop." Next thing I know, this little dude is walking toward me. I said, "Who's that?" She said, "Oh, that's Big Pop." I said, "Well, damn, this dude like 5'5". If he can be Big Pop, I know I can be Big Pop. And I said, so that's going to be my name when little Henry gets old enough.
I like it.
Big Pop.
Great to talk to you, and enjoy your days off. Safe travels. Thanks again, bud.
Thank you, brother. Hey, Dan, keep up the great work, brother. Thanks for having me.